Okay, so besides proportional reasoning, another thing that's real important, another skill that's going to be helpful to you on the high set test, I call it variable substitution. If you know how to substitute variables in where, or numbers where variables are, if you had that one skill, you could probably know enough to get your high set. If you could plug numbers in where variables are. And number 6, so I'm going to go over number 16. What is the value of, so the value of 3 times the difference of x and 6, or a number in 6, plus 2y. Now there's 4 answers here. This isn't a multiple choice, so there's 4 different problems you have to do. And A says when x equals -7 and y equals 10. Okay? So what I'm going to do is where there's an x, I'm going to put the number -7. Where there's a y, I'm going to put the number 10. Okay? So the value of this, when x equals -7, will equal 3 times -7 minus 6 plus 2 times, and remember the 2y means 2 times 10. And I'm going to use a dot because the multiplication symbol looks a lot like an x. So when you get into more advanced math, you start using a dot. Now, if you remember your order of operations, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. You have to do stuff in a certain order. Okay? If you don't, you're not going to get the right answer. P stands for parentheses. You have to deal with the parentheses before you do any other operations. The E stands for exponents. So anytime you see an exponent, and that's when you raise the power to a number, or roots. Okay? Roots and exponents go together. Okay? Square roots are actually the opposite operation of exponents. That would be like this, x squared or 10 squared. Remember, it does not mean 10 times 2. It means 10 times 10. 10 squared is not 20. 10 squared is 100. Okay? After I'm done with the parentheses and exponents, I do multiplies and divides. And I don't multiply and then divide. I multiply and divide in order from left to right. Okay? And add and subtract last. And again, I don't add and then subtract. I add and subtract in order from left to right. Okay? So I have to deal with these parentheses first. And now, understand positive and negative number operations is really hard. But remember, you're going to have a calculator to do this problem with. So to get -7 in your calculator, you push 7 and then the plus minus button. Don't hit -7. That's an operation. The plus minus button on that calculator is what's going to change that to -7. And then you hit the minus, the operation key, 6, and it will tell you what it equals. Because there's a lot of confusion in this, but you don't need to worry about it because you have that calculator. But you'll realize if you push that in, that the answer is -13. 3 times -13 plus 2 times 10. So now I'm done with the parentheses. All I have left is multiplication. 3 times -13. Again, I would use the calculator, 3 times 13, and then hit that plus minus button. Okay? And that's going to be -39 plus 20. Okay? And I would do it in the calculator. Use the calculator that you're going to have when you're going to take that test. Okay, Brandon Bacon? Yeah. Okay. -39 plus 20. Did you do that, Brandon? What did you get? You should get -19 if you did it correctly. Okay? Any questions about how to substitute numbers in where variables are? Okay. Go ahead, and I want you to try number 22. And I will go over, actually, I'll go over it with you right over here. Let's see if I can see myself. Okay, I'm going to do number 22. Again, this is from page 215 in the red book. And I'm going to do number 22. And it says to evaluate -3 times y squared plus 2. Okay? So, and it says, A says when y equals 2. So where the y is, I'm going to put the number 2. -3 times 2 times y squared, which is 2 squared plus 2. Okay? And what do I do first? Anybody? I do what's inside the parentheses first. Now, if there's some inside the parentheses, if there's more than one operation, and there is, I have to follow the order of operations in there. Okay? So what do I do first? Do I add or I do the exponent first? I do the exponent first inside the parentheses. So this will become -3 times 2 times, what's 2 squared equal to? 4 plus 2. Now I'm going to finish out the parentheses, -3 times 2 times 6. And then I just do my multiplication. I know this is going to be -6 times 6 is -36. Okay? Now there's 3 more problems under 22. Evaluate that when y equals 10, and then do when y equals -9, and then when y equals 0. And I'll give you a couple of minutes to do that. Any questions? Anybody need me to go over another one? Amy, is this going okay for you?
Joni made me this. It's called almond roca, homemade almond roca. It's really what it is, just chocolate and burnt butter and sugar with some almonds and some other kind of nuts, and there's some melted chocolate on top. I usually don't just chew this like that. I usually just like stick it in my mouth and then just let it melt. Mm. Mm.